Okay, thank you very much. And first of all, I would like to thank swisspeace for organizing this meeting, and of course, I'm very pleased to have been invited to in some way explain and tell how this very complex history, and you're right, it has been a very long process that started in 1984 when. Actually in 1983, because the 10th of December of 1983, Argentina elected a democratic president after more than 6 or 7 years of dictatorship. And President Raúl Alfonsín, he was the one that was elected, and all along his campaign, he was the only candidate that said that what has happened in Argentina, the violations of human rights that took place and the disappearances, was a matter that should be investigated and punished. And he won the elections. So he realized that after the suffering of people for so long, there was a real basis and a real will from a large part of the population to investigate and punish what has happened. Although we have to say that at the time it was not completely clear what was that took place actually in Argentina. We knew, I mean, people knew that that a lot of persons have disappeared, but the facts and the reality of what, the dimension of what has happened was not known by a large part of the population. So President Alfonsín was the president since the 10th of December of 1983. And on the 15th, he signed a decree creating what was this Commission of Truth, or it was called Comisión Nacional para la Desaparición de Personas, sobre la desaparición de personas, Commission on the Disappearance of Persons, CONADEP, that started to work immediately. It was chaired by a number of independent and important personalities that had a commitment with human rights. The president of the commission was a writer, a famous writer in Argentina, Alberto. He was a very well-known writer and was one of those persons that were denouncing what had been the violations of human rights that were committed in those years. This commission started to work. They started to went to different places in the world where there were a number of people that had survived from the concentration camps, and they went to Spain, to Mexico, to France, and to other countries to document and to record cases on the evidences of abuses that were committed by the military junta. So it was some months after that, in September 1984, that Ernesto Sábato, the president, together with the other members, he presented to the president this report, the famous, in Argentina, quite famous report of the CONADEP on the disappearance of people. This is the report, and this was the first edition of the report that was given to the president, together with 2 annexes with the list of disappeared persons. This was came as a shock. There was, I remember very well, a very tense atmosphere because the president was showing that there was a real will to investigate and to prosecute. So this created some kind of tension within the armed forces at the time. And I remember that they didn't allow to show the moment where the Sábato gave to President Alfonsín this book by public television because they were afraid that they were somehow provoking the armed forces. No? But this made its way, and they gave the book, and the book showed, and this report showed that around 9,000 persons have disappeared in Argentina. There are comments and information that the numbers are bigger than this one, but in this report there are documentation about 9,000 persons that disappeared those days. What were the most important results of this very important report? First of all, it was an enormous cultural change in society, because we knew, but we didn't know with such detail on the procedures led by the militaries, because many persons thought that there was some abuses. It's true. In general, it was a legal repression, but there were some illegal aspects of the repression. But this showed that there was a decision taken by the government, by the dictatorship, by the high commanders, to planify, was a plan of repression, of criminal repression, that took place completely aside of any legality. So it was a planified strategy to repress and to destroy and kill all those persons that were involved in social and political activities against the dictatorship. So this was the first thing, the information of the change of the atmosphere in society and in the conscience of the gravity of what had happened. Then, as a second point, I should say that this was the basis to the trials against the military juntas. The CONADEP, or this commission, provided a way of ordering the prosecution and responsibilities of the state by clandestine detention centers. It was some kind of clustering method criteria, and this was the criteria used by the prosecutor in the trial. So this was the basis used by the prosecutor in this famous trial that took place in 1985 and finished condemning to perpetual prison to the high commanders of the military junta. So it served also as a legal basis for the prosecution. Then, linked to this idea of the change of mood and the shock that it produced, this was also something that has been used since then as some kind of manual to teach history and in schools to teach some kind of democratic awareness to children of what was the beginning of this restored democracy in Argentina and what has happened in the past. So it was very important as a teaching instrument in schools, colleges and universities. I have to say that following this, one of the things that President Alfonsín realized is that we need, and as we now say, as a rapporteur, who says the importance of preparation. So in 1986, on the basis of what the report of the CONADEP and the trial said, a law was passed by the Argentine state providing pensions to spouses and children of persons that had disappeared. And well, this was a very first important step. Many years later, in 1991, this was also, there was a new law providing not only pension to them, but a reparation, I mean a compensation, a financial compensation for enforced disappearance or for having been killed by the military or by paramilitary forces that existed even before the coup d'etat in March '76. So this has been the most, these aspects I mentioned have been, I believe, the principal results of this commission that started far away, how long ago, in 1984, but still remains a symbol of how our democracy, or restored democracy, was born through this painful path of investigating the crimes and starting what we believe is fundamental, that the end of impunity. And that's what President Alfonsine at that time tried to do, and now we are doing, but I believe that in our discussion we will come on what is taking place or has taken place in these last 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you.